everyone, and welcome to Paul's 474, Public Opinion and Political Behavior. That's the class. So what are you doing in this class? Well, I think it's sort of obvious that you're learning about public opinion, but really we're aiming for four specific things this semester. So first, we want to understand what public opinion is, how it's formed, and how it's measured. We also want to comprehend the dynamic relationship between public leaders and the masses, and also examine what factors do or, maybe don't influence public opinion. And finally, we're going to work on becoming proficient in Excel. And don't be scared, okay? I built in lots of ways in which you can get support, okay? So, and I think Excel is a really, really valuable skill to have. Okay, so who am I? I am Dr. Marky McBrayer. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but I have lived lots of places. Going backwards, we've lived in Boston, Austin, New Zealand, Australia, and London. And now we live in Moscow, which our family really enjoys. But if you see me and can recognize me through a mask, then you should definitely say hello. I am reasonably friendly, and our children are very loud. So those are two things to look out for. So you might even meet them even in one of the Zoom meetings. But a little bit about my professional life and research, just to assure you that I'm qualified to teach this class. I used to be an urban planner in the Boston area, but my PhD is in American politics, policy, and statistics. So really, this is right in the middle of all of that, okay? And if you want to talk, my Zoom office hours are Monday 11 to 1 and then Tuesday 2 to 4, or by appointment if those two time slots don't work for you. This year, I will obviously not be holding in-person office hours. If for those of you who have ever been to my office, you know that it is super small and poorly ventilated. So it poses risks to both of us. Plus, if we schedule a Zoom meeting and I happen to be at my house, you can see my cats or maybe children, but the cats are probably cuter. Don't tell the kids. And if you want to get in touch with me via email, my email is mmcbrayer@uidaho.edu. Typically, I respond to emails within about 24 hours, except on weekends sometimes. I would also recommend that if you have a question, look through the syllabus first, because sometimes the syllabus will be able to answer your question a little bit quicker than I can. But remember, when you send an email, make sure that it includes a salutation, your name, your class, and your question. So something like this. Hi, Dr. McBrayer. This is Angela Wright, a student in your Tuesday-Thursday Paul's 437 class. I had an inquiry about your extra credit policy, specifically how many additional extra credit points are we allowed. You'll note that I'm referred to as Dr. McBrayer here. Frankly, you can call me Marky and I won't mind. That's really the culture that we have here in our department. But outside of me, be aware that if you want to refer to a woman formally with a doctorate, you should always use doctor and then their last name. If they have a doctorate, do not call them Mrs. or Miss unless they have told you that that is what they want to be called. This sounds really nitpicky, I know, but many of us worked really, really hard for our doctorates, and oftentimes our male colleagues, some of whom don't even have doctorates, get called doctor really quickly, really easily, and really often. But if you are a woman, we oftentimes don't get the same salutation, the same title, okay? I just want to put that on your radar, okay? So I just also want to tell you, please don't send me this email. It is going to annoy me. And I want, there are so many things wrong with this email because this is an actual student email that I got years ago, okay? It takes so much more time on my end and your end for me to answer this. One, I don't know who this is. So I had no way of identifying the student. The class also had at the time like 250 students. So it was impossible for me to figure out who it was because the email wasn't an identifier. Okay. It was something really vague, like Angel 1969 or something like that. Also, this comes across as rude, right? Like there's no greeting. It's just like, what's my grade, right? Because the other aim of this class and college generally is to professionalize you, right? You will go out and become working professionals, working adults after this. So we want you to come out as polished as possible, and that means writing professional emails, not this, okay? So what materials will you need for this class? Our textbook this semester is by Bob Erickson and Kent Tadine. It is American Public Opinion, Its Origins, Content, and Impact. By Routledge, it's the 10th edition, published in 2019. This can be purchased through the campus bookstore, or you can buy it online. I will post readings from this book for the first few weeks to get you through until your textbook arrives. I believe I post them for the first 3 weeks, okay? Now you might be wondering too what class is going to be like. So this is obviously an odd semester and year, and I will try to be as supportive and flexible with you as possible, okay? And I also hope that you could extend the same to me, okay? But for this class here, readings and content lectures are going to be posted every week. I will send out an email every Monday listing what you need to read and watch before your discussion section on Wednesday. On Monday, just focus on watching the video lecture and completing the readings. On Wednesday, we're going to discuss those materials in a Zoom discussion section. I am open to creating an in-person discussion section later in the semester once we have completed testing and known a bit more about the new COVID strains. So if there is enough interest from the class, I will hold the in-person discussion section on Monday during class time in our regular space, okay? If you are unable to attend discussion section, please let me know and I can provide an alternative writing prompt for you to complete so that you can get credit that week, okay? But for now, Monday, watch the video lecture and complete the readings. Wednesday, come to a Zoom discussion section. And then Friday, we will have, starting week 3, an Excel lab or homework workshop. An Excel lab or homework workshop. So this Excel lab or homework workshop will be held during our normal class hours and over Zoom, just like our discussion section on Wednesday. Zoom actually works a bit better for labs than an in-person setting, given that you need access to a computer to complete the labs. There are going to be 5 labs in total this semester, and you have to attend them. They are required. If you miss them and still want to receive credit for them, you will need to complete the additional questions that come at the end of the lab guide on your own, okay? And you'll need to submit it to me. But otherwise, I expect you to come to the labs. For the labs, there will be a short video and write-up demonstrating the functions that we're examining in the lab that week. You need to watch that video before you attend that Friday lab, okay? Because in lab, we're going to be working problems and applying those tools in Excel, okay? On weeks when we don't hold an Excel lab, we will have an optional homework workshop held on Friday during class hours over Zoom. You can bring any questions you have about the homework, any at all. It could be about the write-up, it could be about Excel, anything data related. And this is because I want to give you as much support as possible. Learning Excel can be really tricky. And so I'm trying to build in as much support as possible into this class. And so that's why we have these alternating homework workshops, as well as this sort of flipped class, this flipped lab, where you watch a brief introduction about what the tool is, and then we're going to practice doing it in the lab. This is because with labs, people assume that like those of us who are good at data are good at data because we were born with it. That is not true. We are good with data because we have done it a million times, right? We have practiced and practiced and practiced. And so the reason this is flipped to where you need to watch the video first and then we work problems is that it will allow you to do more practice with more support, okay? So how do I calculate your grade? There are 3 components. The first is professionalism, which is 20%. Assignments are 50%, and then the final paper is 30%. For professionalism, I expect you to attend discussion section and lab. I expect you to participate in discussion and lab, and I expect you to be nice, okay? For the assignments that are worth 50% of your grade, there are going to be 5 of them throughout the course of the semester, meaning that each one is worth 10% of your grade. These will feed into your final project. These will be the foundation of that final paper. Each submission, each of these assignments is going to be about 2 to 4 pages in length, and they'll be due Mondays, usually at midnight. A portion of your final grade, 30%, will be based off of a paper that focuses on public opinion in a state of your choosing. Each of the 5 assignments you complete over the course of the semester will go into your final paper. They will go into your final paper, as the assignments make up sections of the final paper. For the final paper, you will do one of the following. Build on an existing section, so one of those assignments, one of those 5 assignments, and add 10 more sources and an additional quantitative analysis. Or you're going to create a new section with 10 new sources and a quantitative analysis. This is also an opportunity for you to fix any errors on your 5 assignments. Please note, though, that you can't make up any points you lost on those assignments, but you can take the feedback you got and rectify it for the final submission so you don't lose points again. And instead, you'll get more credit on that final paper. And so I'll provide more information on this in a few weeks, but for now, I just want to sort of put it on your radar. So what happens if you miss class? You're allowed 2 total absences between the discussion sections and labs without it affecting your grade. After that, I deduct 1 point for each absence from your final grade. Obviously, if you're sick, you do not need to come to class. Just focus on resting and recovering, really. I want you to be as healthy as possible this semester, so do what you need to take care of yourself. And please, 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 please let me know if you need anything. I'm here to teach you things, yes, but also support you. If you have other non-medical reasons for missing class, please let me know and provide some kind of documentation, okay? So here are the standard academic integrity policies. Guys, just don't cheat. It makes our lives so much easier. I would much rather read your words, even if they're imperfect, than read someone else's words. It's so much better, okay? And again, it does make more work for both me and you if I find like plagiarism or cheating of any kind. And really, no one needs extra work this semester, okay? CDAR. If you need accommodations, please be in touch with CDAR. You can see the full message here and in the syllabus, but their number is 208-885-6307, and their email is cdar@uidaho.edu. So really, if you need any accommodations, whether they're temporary or permanent, please be in touch with them. So let me walk you through Blackboard, because that's where most of our stuff is going to be. Here, so let's go to the most important tab first, which is weekly lectures, readings, and activities. You can see that week 1, 2, and 3 are available. And at the top of every weekly folder, there will be your to-do list for the week. So you can see that this week by January 18th at 11:59 p.m., so next Monday, I want you to attend the week 1 Zoom discussion section on Wednesday, January 13th. And here's the link to the discussion section, to the Zoom discussion section. I want you to watch the week 1 video introduction, which you should be doing right now because that's what this video is. I want you to read the syllabus, purchase the textbook, and download and install Excel on your own computer, or make sure that you have access to it. To give you an idea of what a normal week looks like, because I know that this is an introductory week and it's a little wonky, this is week 3, which is a little more normal. It says, please complete all of the following by the time of the January 27th discussion section. Watch the week 3 video lecture, read Erikson and Tadin chapter 2, and read Zoller and Feldman's piece as well. I want you to attend the week 3 Zoom discussion section on Wednesday, January 27th at 1:30 p.m. And I want you to complete these tasks for the Excel lab that week. This is our first one. So watch the lab 1 video lecture before lab on Friday and attend the week 3 Zoom Excel lab on Friday at 1:30. And here are the links. Okay. For readings, I think intuitively you can find those in the reading folder. In this case, you can see both here, the Zoller and Feldman reading and the Erikson and Tadin one. But again, just make sure to read and watch the video lecture before your discussion section on Wednesday, the Zoom discussion section on Wednesday. You also probably want to know where the video lecture is, which is here. You'll find here, obviously, the video lecture where we covered the content, or a brief summary of the content for the week, just to give you a bit of a lay of the land. But it also includes the slides and written notes. And I provide both of these to make the course a little bit more accessible for students, because I know that we all learn in different ways, and some students might be better suited with reading the notes as opposed to watching the video lecture. And finally, we have the lab, and you can find all the materials here. There is a video that you need to watch before you attend the lab on Friday in week 3. And these are all the materials that go with it. There's the guide, which is sort of like a written walkthrough of this lab, of this skill. This is the code book for the data that we're going to be using, and this is the data set as well. So this data set, like I walk you through it a little bit here, but we will also be using it on that Friday's lab as well. And ultimately, we also have assignments. All your assignments can be found in this assignments tab right here. But for the most part, I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, the one thing I do want to add is Zoom office hours. So if you want to come see me in Zoom office hours, the link to do that is right here, Zoom office hours. And they're 11 to 1 on Monday and 2 to 4 on Tuesday. You can just click here and it will take you straight to my office hours, okay? But I think that's all. And if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to email me or ask me when we meet on Wednesday, okay? But I look forward to seeing you all for the rest of the semester.